This evening, I am going to go see Neil Gaiman at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. We just had a major snowstorm. In fact, it's still happening and they didn't cancel it. If it wasn't for the fact that it's Neil Gaiman, I probably wouldn't even have gone. And the fact that it is in Brooklyn and only 3 stops. So, it's really bad happening. Made it to Fulton Street, and I noticed that I got an alert on my phone that the train's all north, Metro North Rail, and I think the LIRR is shut down now. So we'll see how good everybody happens to be out in that area. One of the weird, oh, it's too cold to not wear a hat. It's really slippery outside, so while I'm not driving, it's still quite treacherous. All I know is I don't think you'd have this type of event still happening for Stephen King and George R.R. Martin fans.
No pictures of the stage.
Pardon?
No pictures of the stage.
Oh, no picture. Okay. The Neil Gaiman event ended. Unfortunately, they didn't allow for any photography or video, so there's no footage of actual Neil Gaiman. But it was a fun event. I was in the second row, so it was pretty close. And he read from the book Norse Gods. I think that's the name of the book. It's this book right here. And then he talked about a lot about his childhood and so forth, and the aspects of working with American gods. So it was very interesting. I'm sad that I wasn't able to record it. Let me see, what were some of the things he was saying? I don't know if I can. I think my description would just be boring. How about let's try this. I first came about with the idea of Norse mythology, and I remember the exact date. It was November 10th because it was my birthday. I was in New York in Washington Square, and my editor had suggested a book about mythology, and I tried it out, and 3 years later I came up with the first story. I'm going to read some of it now. The Master Builder. Thor had gone to the east to fight trolls. Asgard was more peaceful without him, but it was also unprotected. This was in the early days, shortly after the treaty between the Aesir and the Vanir, when the gods were still making a home for themselves and Asgard was undefended. I'm not going to be signing anything tonight, but you could purchase pre-signed copies over at the lobby. You're seeing right now, you think is an author, but since April of last year, I've been doing nothing but directing Good Omens.
because my good friend Terry Pratchett had decided that I was the only one to be directing it. There's been many iterations of Sandman produced. Many scripts, some good, some not bad. None of them came to fruition. However, if you are a friend of Neverwhere, you will find something quite surprising in the very near future.